4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
What's up, Vikings fans? Welcome to another episode of House Calls with Skoldoc, brought to you by Minnesota Sports Talk. Joining me, as always, is my main guy, Dave. What's up, man? It's been a minute.
Pew, pew, pew. Yeah, I was just saving the world while you were out, conference land.
Yeah, had a surgery conference out in Phoenix last week. It was good. My mom lives in Buckeye, so 45 minutes west of Phoenix. Spunked with her. Good to see her. And play a little golf in the desert. So it was a good time.
I'm just
79.
I'm just sport 79. Look at that. I'm just sporting my world champion Twins gear. Starting out the year 0-4. I so want to extend Rocco. Sarcasm.
Yeah, I'm not a Twins fan, but
Yeah,
obviously
we get that. Cubs fan. At least it's the National League.
Yeah, I'm not big into baseball, but it was fun. Like I was following them when they, won it that year, and that was a lot of fun. And I'd imagine that when the Vikings finally get the monkey off their back, it'll feel so much, more amazing for me, just because I bleed purple and gold.
Yeah.
But it was pretty fun when the Cubs won. That was pretty nice. But yeah, man. So good to be back. We took a week off because I was out in the desert last week, and we haven't talked about Rondale Moore signing, so that was fun. That was kind of exciting for like a nice little, tertiary signing. What was your thought on Rondale Moore joining?
I've been wanting that. Powell didn't kind of fill my scratch my itch for just a dynamic scat back type of receiver, that water bug type of role that
a yak guy.
Yeah, you can put in the backfield, you get in short yards and let him get in space and be dynamic, hopefully, potentially, because he has return punts, he has return kicks, that he could fill that role that Powell had. So yeah, I thought it was a great, nice compliment to what we currently have as our top three receivers. This is just another weapon, another wrinkle that we could do a lot of, from from reverses to just all sorts of things. It's just putting people in motion and just all sorts of things we could do, and screens, and oh god, I just like the potential there.
I totally agree. There's no risk to it because he paid nothing for it. There's like no guaranteed money on that contract. I thought it was interesting. I don't know if you heard the comment, but somebody asked KOC about like signing multiple players off of injuries in free agency. That was kind of one of their plans this year to find market inefficiencies with signing some players who were injured last year. And he said that all the players are expected to make it back for the start of training camp, except for Rondale Moore. So he's still recovering from his leg injury, which apparently was pretty nasty. But I agree with your sentiment. I agree with everything you said. I think that the Vikings wide receiver core is very good, but it's a little bit redundant in terms of their abilities.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Naylor is a straight line speedster type of guy. I don't think he does great with short area quickness, winning underneath in the slot. And I think Rondale Moore gives you that. He's the type of guy who can run a drag route or a zag or zig route like underneath and, get crazy yak. And we don't really have a receiver on this team right now who's a yards after catch specialist, right? I mean, Addison and Justin Jefferson both win with route running and ball tracking and a lot of skill, but they're not the type of receivers that you throw it to them behind the line of scrimmage and they're going to generate an easy 20 yards by making a guy miss.
Break
it's just not their
ankles
game.
Like that,
yeah. So I like it, man. Like as a wide receiver 4, on this team, that was a really good signing.
I have no idea what he just said there. Professor. Okay, I'm the professor. Hey, Grandizer, nice to see you again. I haven't seen you in a while. Appreciate it. I did. You know what was funny? That was my nickname when I was a kid because I corrected someone's English one time. I was like 9 years old. Some high school kids, they started calling me professor. Little did I know that I almost became one. I had, master's degree in education. So,
Huh.
Let's see here. Hampton, I like a lot too, by Daniel Fall.
I have a man crush on Caleb Johnson, and it kind of breaks my heart that there's really no avenue for the Vikings to get him, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Like with us going out to get Jordan Mason, which I loved. I love that move. It's funny because the beat writers, I listened to the Matthew Collar show today, and he was talking with Ben Gessling, and they were talking about they were just kind of wondering out loud, were the Vikings the worst team last year in short yardage situations?
Probably.
They might have been. They might have been.
Felt like it. 100% felt like it.
They gave a lot of credit to this regime because with Zim and Spielman, they noticed how a lot of the warts from previous rosters, it's like they wouldn't attack their weaknesses and just fix them. And maybe it was because they're cash strapped or whatever. But this regime made no doubts about it. They said, we are going to get some beef in the middle of this line, and we're going to get a running back who's going to run through your damn face. And we're going to get a first down on 3rd and 1 by running the football, right? 3rd and 2. We're going to run right up the middle and get that first down. And that'll be a sight for sore eyes, man, because this year was tough.
And Kevin O'Connell, you just saw that interview that you were playing right before we got on, and that's what he brought that up. He brought up the fact that we went out and got Jordan, Mason, and that was the 1B back to Aaron Jones 1A, and he felt like that was a great way to maximize Aaron Jones, but also we haven't been successful in short yardage, and he says that's on me, that kind of thing. And obviously, I loved hearing about how it went down with him getting Kelly at center and then get his commitment. And then he says, when it became legal, Kelly said that we'll get spuds. I think he called them spuds for potatoes.
Will fries.
French fries.
Yeah.
Yeah. Calls them spuds apparently. To get him, like, we'll get that done. So it sounded like Kelly was a big cog in that wheel of getting Fries. Obviously, you remember Fries was my number one guy that I wanted. And then I just happened to say, I like this Kelly guy too. And they were on the same team.
We were all over it.
And it was fun. It's funny that it worked out. I didn't expect to get Kelly. And it's funny that we got him first and he was a catalyst and, making my dream come true, which was amazing. That I'm so happy that they decided to put their money where their mouth is. I know they talked about fixing the running game the year before, but they finally did it, I think, and it's really on Kevin O'Connell. It's put up or shut up right now because this team is built to run now.
Yeah, this team is really built to support a young quarterback in JJ McCarthy, and wasn't it great just over the last couple days hearing your owner Mark Wilf sing the praises of JJ McCarthy, hearing your GM and your head coach all sing the praises of JJ McCarthy, like sending a message to the media of you got to stop talking about this whole Aaron Rodgers thing because it's not a thing. This is our guy. We took him number 10 overall. We've built this roster around him and we are ready to roll.
It was something I noticed, and it's just no one's saying. I heard this all the time. What else is he supposed to say? All last year and the year before. What else is he supposed to say? When they would praise Kirk Cousins and stuff like that, and now they're praising JJ McCarthy, and I think it's legitimate, and I think it's awesome that they're praising him. And at no time do I feel like saying, what else is he supposed to say? No, I don't think this ownership group, I don't think these coaches lie. And everything they've ever said has just been proven to be honest, forthright, straight shooter. They don't talk if they don't mean it, and a lot of times we go without hearing from them. And all this conjecture, like Aaron Rodgers comes in and shit like that, just starts filling the void. And when they come out and say it, they're honest. Yeah, we talked to him. He was, he called me, whatever. I talked to him. These guys, I love that they don't, they're honest, they're forthright. I feel like I'm hearing the truth from these guys. they when they're not talking is how they're holding their cards, and they don't talk a lot, it seems, and I appreciate it, and I hate it when people start filling in the gaps and making up shit. But there was truth to the Athletic, as far as what they came out and said that their Aaron Rodgers was, it is a thing, not necessarily. It's more like a backup injury type potential if he's still there, and God forbid something happens to JJ McCarthy. But that's where I feel it is. It's not there. It's 99% JJ McCarthy, is my opinion.
And it was interesting that KOC came out and made sure that he said to the world that Aaron Rodgers reached out to him, right? It wasn't the other way around. It wasn't the Vikings checking in on Aaron Rodgers. He said, Aaron reached out to me.
Yeah, and he said, players that work with you reach out, and want to work with you again. And two-tone, we should win the bowl in 3 years. I should start now, as far as I'm concerned. We had a hell of a good team. Our window's open
right now.
It could have last year open. It's just, I don't know. Sam Darnold turned into a pumpkin the last 2 games.
Now, it is unprecedented for a first-time starter to win a Super Bowl. That's never happened before. Unless what, did Patrick Mahomes do it? Did Mahomes do it?
Brady.
Maybe. Did Brady do it too?
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe 2 guys there.
2001 after 9/11.
Mahomes won it his first year starting, I believe, right?
No, I think it was his second year. Didn't he go his first year and then he won his second?
Maybe. I don't remember.
I forget what it was.
But there's been a lot of examples of guys. Hell, Jaden Daniels made it to the NFC Championship in his first year, right? Like, you can go far, and you better have a damn good team supporting the guy. And I think the Vikings do. So
I feel like we have a better team than Washington had last year.
Yeah, and so do I.
Right?
I agree. Now, do I believe that JJ McCarthy is the caliber of quarterback of what Jaden Daniels showed to be last year? I'd be lying if I did, honestly. I hope he's damn good, but Jaden Daniels was so damn impressive last year. And I had him in my dynasty league, so I was kind of vested in him.
I'm gonna tell you, our defense is better than the Commanders was last year. So
for sure,
that's where it kind of will be making up for it.
Yeah, 100%.
Rest of the team.
I think the Vikings are a better team right now than the Commanders, for sure.
Yeah, I could say that. But they have that ace in the sleeve with Jaden Daniels, right? And and again, I'm gonna say this over and over again. League catches up with you. League catches up with you.
Yeah, he could very well have a sophomore slump, for sure. For sure. What's up, Gary? Thanks for joining, buddy. Good to see you.
Hey, Gary.
So I want to talk again, just to send you another surprise here. I saw this tweet right before we jumped on. Kyle Brandt, love that guy from Good Morning Football. He was on a podcast, and he said something along the lines of he's surprised by how many people expect JJ McCarthy to kind of jump in and for it to be quote unquote easy to drive this car in Minnesota, because people look at Sam Darnold winning 14 games and the Vikings got a better roster, signing free agents, and he doesn't think that JJ McCarthy is just going to step in and it's going to be smooth, is what he was saying. He said JJ McCarthy is very green, and I have pushback on that, honestly. I think that JJ
fan in him.
He's actually a Bears fan.
A Bears fan in him. Sorry.
Yeah. The Bears fans got pissed off.
I forget that video.
He wore the Lions jersey, and they got all pissed at him.
Video he did last week threw me off. Go ahead. Yeah. Sorry.
So that could be a little bias on his part, right? Like maybe he's just, hey, Ben Johnson's in the division now. You got to watch out for Ben Johnson. He's super excited. Whatever. But I tweeted at him. I said, name me 3 different situations that appear to be on par or better for a first-year starting quarterback than what JJ McCarthy's walking into right now. Like in recent memory, like give me 3 situations. We've talked about Brock Purdy with the Niners. That was a pretty damn good situation that he walked into. And they went to the Super Bowl, didn't he? He lost it, but they went. Right?
Sorry, say it again.
The Brock Purdy is first year starting with the Niners. I believe they went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
They lost, but they went.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's another example. I absolutely think that JJ McCarthy can come in here and have a great year one. Everything's health permitting, by the way, obviously, with offensive line and his supporting cast and everything. But I'm
And
high on
I
this team,
think Brock
man.
Purdy has a higher upside, or not as much of an upside as JJ McCarthy.
Yeah, I agree. I think that JJ has the same short area quickness that Brock Purdy has. What Purdy's superpower is that he's an excellent anticipator throwing. He's great at anticipatory throwing.
And then McCarthy is good at that, and he has the stronger arm.
He is he has a real strong arm. McCarthy's thing for me watching him in college was that he didn't have great accuracy down the field. But then training camp happened and he just got better and better. And he dropped that dime down the left side to Tristan Jackson. And he's throwing it to Addison and Justin Jefferson, who are just vacuum cleaners down the field. They'll clean that stuff up and make you win those 50-50 balls.
Yeah, he didn't have this receiving core in
No,
college.
no. So we're all excited. It says McCarthy might not be an NFL. We don't know yet. I'm not sure what he meant by that, but
NFL caliber or something, I think.
maybe. You're right. We don't know yet, but we do know this. We do know that he started out OTAs last year very rough by all accounts, and he got exponentially better as training camp went on. Every beat writer was saying, wow, this is looking really, really good by the time he got injured. And that should make you excited as a Vikings fan. You still got to see it, in the regular season. We haven't seen it yet, but that should give you some level of hope that he was showing excellent signs and showing that progress and rebounding from a rough start. And in the preseason game, he starts off with an interception on the first drive, and then he rebounded, right? And he had a great game after that. So the season training camp can't get here fast enough, man. I just want to watch this guy play football.
So Gary, here's my viewpoint on that. Outside of left guard, really, there's nothing offensively I don't think that we could say, because we got a blocking tight end that can catch too, and honestly, and then we got a pass catching tight end. We got 3 very good receivers, 4 if when the new guy gets healthy. The best thing that we could upgrade to help JJ McCarthy right now is continue to build that defense. So when he does makes a mistake and gives up a short field, we're only giving up 3 points instead of 7. So I think the best friend to a young quarterback that has a plethora of riches on offense is that we keep his mistakes to a minimum and keep people out of the end zone for him. And yeah, I think the best place is to beef up that defense even more, or just right now it's a depth play. I think we're the future play. Maybe we get that all around running back. Um, there's plenty of running backs in this league for when we do move on from Aaron Jones. So everything would be for the future. But right now, if he built that defense up even better, we're looking, that's keep people out of the end zone.
It's well said, partner.
Oh, yeah, Gary agrees.
I think that if there's a situation where the Vikings start out hot and they become buyers at the deadline, and you want to swing a trade for like one more piece to really help push, JJ McCarthy, I think a really solid wide receiver 3 could be something that we could see them do. Right?
Yeah, I like our 3. I'm a Naylor fan. I think he only had a couple of bad spots last year, but I think he came back with a 100-yard game. I really like him. I really do. But I'm always wanting that big receiver. So if we got a big receiver, red zone threat, 50-50 ball type guy, just knows, can understand the offense, because I think that's what kept other guys. Like we recently got that guy that used to be a high draft pick, and I forget his name. And he was a big receiver, but he went out there, he didn't get to play much. And I had kind of hopes for that. But if we get that big receiver, can pick the game up right away, has good hands, gets the 50-50 balls, doesn't have to be a speedster, right, or a freak of nature, but we just have that, target. JJ can throw it up, a guy can go get it. We don't have that. And that's probably the one thing that I've missed for so many years now since Moss.
Did you see that excellent wide receiver named Tet something from Arizona, draft eligible? He's supposed to go in like the first 15 picks
I'll
of the
have to take
draft.
a look. I haven't.
But anyways, this kid
We might
is
draft him in
super
mock
talented.
3.0.
We'll see. He's super talented, but there was a tweet that came out. I'll try to find it and I'll tag you in it so you can watch it. But he essentially said, I don't like watching football. I don't like watching film. And I'm like, oh, this guy's trying to drop the
Third round,
24.
let's get him.
He's trying to drop the 24. But he's an amazing football player. It'd be crazy if he was there.
Says McMillan.
Shit, that would be fun. Yes, McMillan. Thank you. His first name is like, it starts with T-E-T. It's Tet McMillan.
Yeah, we both like Caleb Johnson, right? Who's the running back that I was thinking of? Let me pull up my.
Oh, I love Caleb Johnson. I really think he's going to go somewhere close to like the top of the second round, somewhere in there. And even if the Vikings trade back, I don't think running back is their first pick. So I just don't think it's in the cards for him to be a Minnesota Viking.
Not after we got Jordan Mason.
I'm really hoping he's not a Chicago Bear. I do think the Bears are going to take a running back early, and I'm really hoping they don't get Genty. And I would hate to see them get Caleb Johnson as well, because the guy's going to be good.
So, a guy I think in this situation, if he falls third round, whatever, maybe get extra picks or whatever, that I would like, because I think he would fit now and then in the future, might be a good back would be that Travion Henderson, Ohio State. He's the guy that can block like a motherfucker.
Dalvin Cook 2.0, but better blocker. Yep.
A lot better. I mean, this guy, he stops people. He's like a brick wall, and it's kind of, you don't see that too often out of a running back, and he can catch, and he's, I think he's an all-around back. I don't think he's your perennial, I just think he'd fit. And I think he'd fit with Jordan if we like it, if we move on from Aaron Jones, and then I think he'd fit as that 1A 1B type thing with Jordan Mason. I think it would just be another good fit. So a guy like that.
Yeah, I see them probably waiting until the 5th round, and we'll do the.
Yeah,
I mean, we'll take a look.
I'm not thinking we're gonna get these guys, but
it would be nice. There's so many guys late. Like I love RJ Harvey. I love Damian Martinez. There's some good guys late in this draft the Vikings could look at and bring in as their third back. So it's a deep class. They might get lucky and strike gold later on.
Yeah, CBS got McMillan as number 2 wide receiver from Arizona.
You got to watch his highlights. He's damn good. Gary, boys, how comfortable are you with our depth at middle linebacker? The answer is not very. That's definitely a place where we got to add some bodies.
Well, we did add Wilson, right?
Yeah, Eric Wilson. You're right. I like that ad. That was a very sneaky ad. He's great as a backup linebacker. Better coverage player than who's the blitzer? Who's the Ivan Pace?
Ivan
Pace is such a role player. He's excellent in the run game. He's excellent blitzing, but he's literally one of the worst linebackers in coverage in the NFL. So you got to use him the right way.
I do feel like that's something where we're going to add either UDFA or whatever. And then, but yeah, and Ivan Pace is definitely kind of a specific type of blitzer, honestly, and he's a really good run defender because he just seems to knife in and take people's ankles out, and he just makes that type of play. But Cashman is just an all-around, pass defender, just all around the field, sideline to sideline. Just I feel great about him. So we're top heavy. I think we got one of the better ones out there, and he made the Pro Bowl. Now Wilson, great backup, likes it here. Yeah, but we could again, off the ball linebackers just aren't that hot of a commodity anymore. So that's something that we could get a pretty good one that would fall. We could get one later, or UDFA because they're just not getting drafted.
Yeah, 100%. Well, let's fire up our mock draft here, and I'm gonna leave my comments up. I'm not gonna go full screen so that we can interact with the chat here and we can get their suggestions. Yeah, I agree, Gary. Gary says another sneaky need is we need another tight end. Yeah, this team needs a tight end
Sure.
3, tight end 4. We need a couple of them.
Yeah, you kind of want that. You're probably going to want a guy that can block, right? You know, so, but again, anybody who can catch is also good. But that's the one thing about drafts, like tight end. It seems like tight ends are just coming out of everywhere now. I just never seen drafts that have had such good tight end depth as they have been, and just seems like it's a yeah, receivers and tight ends are coming out of college ready. It seems, and you can kind of put that down to the high school ranks and the 7-on-7 and the passing leagues and stuff like that these kids grow up on, that they're growing up good pass catchers and they're getting more ready, and then obviously the offenses in college, it just seems is so much better because back in the day it said, oh, receiver can't is not ready until like year 3, but now they're coming into the
Mhm.
league ready, it seems.
Yep.
So we're looking at normal round 7. Why did this ad pop up? Enter solo draft. We need our team.
Right there, middle right.
There it is. That's it, right?
That's it.
Okay, enter solo draft. Yeah, and I imagine we're not trading up. Gente to
Correct.
the Jets. O tackle to Chicago.
Yeah, I think Chicago would be smart to take a left tackle. I don't think Braxton Jones is that good. All right, so let's take a look at the offers we have. Eagles are offering us to move
That's
back
pretty
to
good.
32, pick up 64, where we
Pretty
send
good.
97, and they're also going to give us a 2026 second. I really like that offer.
Actually ridiculously good.
We don't get any additional picks this year, which I would like, but you're getting 2 picks in the top 64.
You can always
And
counter, but
the general consensus of this draft is there's pretty good starters through the first 60 to 70 picks in this draft. So I'm thinking about that one. Let's see what our next offer is. Detroit, screw Detroit.
no,
Terrible.
this is better.
That is a better offer. I'm going to exit full screen here so that I can see the chat. So me and Dave, I know that we align on this. We think the Vikings are going to be very inclined to move down this year, generate more picks. Now, this deal doesn't really offer us more picks this year, but it does offer us 2 selections within the top 60, which I like. So I would be inclined to take this, and you get the additional pick next year. So Steven says try to counter and get their 4th rounder as well. We can try that.
I mean, we don't need this.
So
necessarily need the second next year, but
correct. Yeah, let's click counter. And let's get rid of their second. Maybe add the 96.
This would be the 4th, right?
Yeah.
And then it'd be yeah.
And then maybe add like a 164 or something, or like just a later pick and see what they say.
All
Accepted.
right.
There we go. So we got a few extra picks this year.
Yeah, we're doing good now.
Trade charts be damned. No, I think it was fine. Okay. So let's
That's a no.
Yeah, that's an easy no. We're not going all the way back to 83. I also don't want to go back to 40. Deep. I don't want to go to 47.
That's not bad.
Yeah, but they're not giving us.
It's not going to help us this year.
Yeah. So we'll hide that for now. Let's take a look at let's see who was drafted ahead of us a little bit. So we traded back from 24.
Jens Grant.
Gray Zabel was the guy the Eagles took at 24. That's somebody I could see the Vikings taking. Tyler Booker's off the board. That Nick Emanwari is a guy Very athletic safety that's been mocked a lot to the Vikings as of late. Jahadi Barron is a corner that's been mocked to the Vikings a lot as well. Packers traded up for an edge rusher, Michael Williams. Malachi Starks off the board up at 13. Okay, let's look at our board here. And looking at our board, I think they're hyping up Tyreek Williams a little bit too much, but I love Walter Nolan. Love that guy. Siobhan Revel is a guy who I think is just an athletic freak. Tall, lanky, good size, excellent speed, just coming off that knee injury. Omarion Hampton, they were talking about him in the comments about how great that guy is. I just don't see the Vikings pulling the trigger on a running back this early.
I'd be excited about it though.
Yeah, I know.
He's the badass. He's tough, man.
Let's scroll down a little bit. We got Benjamin Morrison, who personally I love. I love his mirroring ability, but he is coming off a hip injury that does worry me for his position. I could see him sliding to the second day for that.
Which might be a good, you talk about Asante Samuel Jr. So you kind of feel like we might have a handshake agreement with them that would kind of, affect what we'd do with cornerback in the draft.
Yeah, we've seen, who knows how real some of that stuff is, but that's a guy, if that stuff is true, I would love Asante Samuel Jr. joining our cornerback room because just a young guy, a lot of upside, coming off a shoulder injury. That would make me feel a lot better about the state of the secondary, though. Right here, I'm leaning Walter Nolan as my guy.
Yeah, and I think we did this before.
Steven's throwing out Donovan Jackson, who would be a great left guard candidate to come in and start right away. And he also offers you tackle flexibility if you were to move him in the future. He has good movement mobility. So he would fit in with our scheme. He's a big dude. So that is absolutely a possibility. But in my opinion, Walter Nolan is that guy. He's the 3 tech that just knifes through and causes all kind of havoc and pressure. He's only 21 years old, which has kind of been an MO for the Vikings picking first round picks. They usually stay young with the first round. And then after the first round, they don't really show a tendency towards age. They'll take some older players like Mekhi Blackman. So,
and we haven't drafted well at interior O-line in the first and second round in a while.
Yeah, so if this is my choice, I'm going Walter Nolan here. And our next pick is at 64. Let's scroll down the available prospects a little bit just to see. Yeah, there's no names there. Like I don't really want to trade down anymore and risk missing out on either.
Look at this, Caleb Johnson.
Yeah. And just looking at 64 and what's kind of around there, Tate Ratledge might be a guy that we're looking at with our next pick. Someone mentioned Jaden Higgins as that big basketball player type wide receiver we could target.
Yeah.
So maybe, and look at his RAS, 9.6 RAS.
Let me look at his measurements.
6'4", 214.
Draft buzz. Let me look at him. He says a 4.4 740.
Gary's screaming Nolan in the comments. Daniel,
are you sure, Gary? I don't know if we want to go with Nolan.
Daniel saying Nolan or Watts. So Xavier Watts is the the safety out of Notre Dame. So trying to repeat history with Harrison Smith. Watts is just a really good ball hawk, really good athleticism and instincts in the secondary. Yeah, I'm for Nolan.
Let's go Nolan.
Yep.
You okay with that, Gary?
I think he's good. Yeah, so Gary, our next pick's at 64. You go ahead. What's up?
Draft. I was going to say, what does Dave know? What did I say that I know? Good value next pick in what, the 60s? Yeah, we're in like 64, right?
64. Just kind of watching the
pause to potentially trade up, or
yeah, go ahead and pause it right here. So Xavier Watts made it all the way to 52. That would have been a nice little potential trade up target there if we wanted to go target the secondary. So now looking at the players available,
A couple running
I
backs.
love Travion Henderson. I love Caleb Johnson. Scroll down a little bit. Hairston's interesting as a just absolute speedster of a corner. He kind of reminds me of Trey Waynes a little bit because he's a slight guy, but he's fast as hell. But I think he's much better zone player than Waynes was, and Waynes was a little bit better man player than Hairston is. And then you got Isaiah Bond, who is an absolute speedster. He's your yard after catch guy. Click on Isaiah Bond here.
Here's your guard.
Wow, Tate is very athletic. I didn't know he had a 9.96 RAS. I mean, absolutely. He's a potential guy there. I'd say let's start the clock again. We have so many picks here that we'd be okay with.
Yeah, I think so too.
Let's just go to 64 and see what falls to us.
Resume draft. Oh,
Caleb Johnson, Isaiah Bond, both guys I like. There goes Hairston. Darian Porter. Yeah. Okay. So they want us to go down to 71, but they're not going to give us much back.
Third.
I'd reject that.
All right.
So looking at our board, there's Tate is there for us. He's the left guard.
Henderson's there.
Yeah, I love that guy too. So Henderson's there. We got Tate Ratledge there.
I was just telling Gary how we could help JJ, and I said for the future and drafted Travion Henderson.
I mean, Tate would be your left guard day one.
Oh, that's true.
And he's a damn good player. And click on his profile again. So he's 6'6", tall guy, 308, good size, length and athleticism is just kind of average. His athleticism, he's got 9.96. He's athletic as hell. So this has been a key piece on their line.
4.9740, so pretty good.
It says, it's too evil to hope. Trade Hawkinson and our first pick to Raiders for Bowers right now. I do love Bowers, dude. I agree with Steven. Steven says we can get a running back on day 3. As much as I do like Henderson, I think I'm going to pass on him here. Ratledge would be our left guard day 1. That's
hands.
I agree with that.
3/8 cents hands on Tate. Ratledge.
So Gary asked about trade options. We only had one trade offer, and it was bad. It was the Raiders wanted us to move down to 71, and they wanted to give us a third next year.
Next year, which is terrible.
So we said no. Daniel wants us to take the left guard here. I'm leaning that way as well.
Yeah, I mean,
let's look at the wide receivers on the board.
Pretty good to not pass up here. Offense, wide receiver.
Jaden Higgins is there. Click on his profile for me. So he's 6'4", 214. He gives you that basketball element. He gives you the jump ball, the red zone guy.
So he's not slow.
4.47, excels in contested catch situations utilizing his frame. However, his limited agility can make it challenging for him to create separation on sharply breaking routes.
That reminds me of somebody that we shall not name.
Right.
Drafted in the first round.
So I'm gonna let's leave it up to the chat. So can we agree we're between the left guard and a receiver right here? Let's click on corners real quick.
And a running back.
I want to wait on running back.
I know.
Click on corners for me.
Corners, okay.
Go to defense.
Where the hell? Okay. Defense.
There you go.
Back, here we go.
Yeah, I don't like anybody right here. So, chat, I think they're going to tell us to pick the left guard. Let's see. Daniel Foss says Treadwell 2.0.
Yeah, Treadwell. That's exactly what I was thinking.
All right, they all want left guard. Let's roll with it. Let's get Tate.
All right, here we go. Good draft so far, guys.
Next pick is 96, so keep an eye on our names or go to all. There we go. Ooh, Kevin Winston Jr. That's my target. Fuck, there he goes. He gone.
I paused.
He gone. That was quick. As soon as I said his name, he was taken.
Anybody else?
DJ Giddens, running back. I like him. He's rated 89. Tootin. See Martinez. I like all the RJ Harvey. I like so many guys. We can take one later.
Yeah.
Let's
So
just
resume.
yeah, let's let it ride here. Kevin Winston Jr., I saw something regarding him. He's a safety out of Penn State. He was on track to not miss a single tackle last year. His tackling is fantastic. Okay, so
Yeah,
screw that
26.
offer.
There's a second one. Oh, hey.
So they want us to go down from 96 to 125, but they're going to give us 133 and 158. I kind of like that, honestly.
What do
Looking at
we?
the
Let
hide
me
that
look
for
at
a
what we
second.
have. Let me look at what we have. We got 96, 139, 161, and we would get a 30, 133, and a 158.
Yeah, why don't throw in like a 200, 209 for us there. But before we say yes to that, I just want to look at our available
Yeah, we're
options real quick.
dropping 30 spots here. That's pretty deep.
I do like Jared Wilson as a backup center. You can put him behind Ryan Kelly.
You know how I like that Ohio State guy, and he can sit a year.
The Seth McLaughlin guy who was hurt. Let's scroll down a little bit more. Oh, you're trying to look at the yeah, let's just see what the Torrey Horton is a wide receiver I like. CJ West is a good DT, but we took Nolan with our first pick.
Guy's 6'1".
Yeah, he's got look at his RAS though. That is not good for a corner.
What's a good one? Like 9s? Is it out of 10?
Let's look at the safety group. Malachi Moore's my guy, and he's rated 144. Our next pick is currently 139 after this. Personally, I would move down from this pick just based on what the board is showing and try to accumulate a few extra draft picks later on.
So trade offer, I click on that.
Yeah. See, Steven likes Malachi Moore too. All right, Daniel Fall wants to trade down. Are you guys cool with trading down from where are we? 96 down to 125. At this stage in the draft, we're kind of already in that zone where it's just dart throwing. So I'd be okay
Range.
dropping down this far if we're going to get like 3 extra picks from it. Why don't you ask them for like 199 on top of this and see if they say
So I was
yes?
going to click on.
There we go. That looks good to me.
Oh.
They said F you.
So.
Oh, not this one.
Oh,
go back.
shit.
Reject. There you go. Counter. Maybe ask for 209 instead. Say yes.
Should we counter? Or?
Just take it. Accept. There we go. Deion Walker, remember when his stock was in the first round to start this process, and now he's just so far down because we all thought he was going to test out the roof, and then he was bad at the combine. He got beat up at the Senior Bowl.
His quickness of ball pursuit, ball carrier is scary good.
Oh, you got to click resume draft. Did you want to?
Oh, resume draft.
Paused. See, there's Damian Martinez there. I like him. He's at 122.
We got 120.
He's still on the board. All right, so let's take a look at what we got here.
Oh, we had a 125. Okay, that's where we traded down to. Okay.
Yep, and we have 133 coming up next. So I'm a big Damian Martinez guy. Tough runner. Good athletic score.
Let me look him up. Martinez. Yeah, they rank him 12th on CBS highlights NFL. You see what his 40 time is.
Let's see if Malachi Moore is still there, by the way.
It's a big back, 6 foot, 217. Very explosive. 35-inch vert, 10.5 jump. 4.5 40 though. 10-yard splits, not bad. 156. What's his? And he didn't do the 3-cone drill. Damn it.
Let's check on safety. See if Malachi Moore is still there. Yeah, he's right there. On the left side where it says My Picks, click on that. Go up and to the left, down a little bit more, where it says draft results. There you go. So we have 125, 133, 139,
quite a
158. So we have a few rattling off here. Malachi Moore at 144. We're probably going to want to take him at 133 just to be safe.
Yeah.
So right here at 125, let's go back to all. Right now, so I do like Josh Farmer, but we already took Nolan in the first. We have our guard that we took already. I'm leaning to take Damian Martinez here because he's a good football player and he could start for you next year when Aaron Jones is gone, and he can help you out this year as well. So that's my vote. Let's scroll down just a little bit more. And somebody wanted us to take a peek at middle linebackers as well.
Okay, yeah. Linebacker. Remember this guy.
I like Jeff Bassa from Oregon. Ooh, he's got a good RAS too.
962.
962. He's so these guys are all rated kind of like 134, 143, 165. I feel like we can wait just a little bit more on the linebacker. Chat, what do you think about Damian Martinez, the running back? Martinez could be a future too, depending on the health of our backs. Let's take a look at.
Is he kind of a Jordan? Is he a tough runner like Jordan, or is he?
He's a little bit more balanced, I would say, than Jordan. Where Jordan is more brawn than speed. This guy's a little bit of both.
Okay. Because he has 40 time as a 4.51, so it's not like he's he's not super fast, but it's not slow.
Right. Let's look at the corners. Click on corners here.
Is he saying take him? Like Martinez take him?
Gary, I think Gary wants. Gary, are you telling us to take Martinez? None of those names excite me at all. I'm out on corners here. Let's pop it. Martinez it is. Boom.
Right.
Welcome to Minnesota. And now, let's see if Moore falls to us. I think he did. He didn't?
Yeah, he did.
You're in running backs right now.
Oh, crap. There he goes.
Let's scroll up a little bit more because we have 139 right after this. Just see if there's any names here. Pat Bryant from Illinois, the wide receiver. He's 6'2", 204. Physical. Yeah.
He looks like every receiver we have.
Click on Danny Stuntsman, the linebacker from Oklahoma. 134.
Yeah, see, I liked him. I like his
He's a 9.6 RAS score, 4.5 athlete.
This isn't bad, man. I'm getting him and then
6'3", 233.
Safety after this.
He's not like huge, but he's pretty good size. Let's roll with this. Comments, what do you think? Rolling with this middle linebacker here, Danny Stuntsman. I don't know much about him. He's from Oklahoma linebacker, 6'3", 233. He's pretty fast. People are saying David Walker they like here. Steven is a fan of this guy. Let's look at David Walker. I don't know
Even
who that
isn't a
is.
fan.
No,
Stutzman is a fan.
he is a fan. So this
So
is an
yeah,
edge rusher guy. He's 6 foot,
this is a little
263.
undersized for an edge, don't you think?
Yeah, I agree. It says he's explosive, good motor.
6
I just
foot.
think the Vikings are kind of set at edge right now. They got a lot of development guys, and they
Yeah,
got. So I would pass on David Walker respectfully to the comments here, and I would go with Danny Stuntsman, and then roll with Malachi Moore after that.
I'm digging it.
Let's do it.
It kind of fills a need. Yeah, because
We're
we
cooking.
went without Ivan. We went without Cashman last year.
Yep.
So draft Stutzman.
Yeah.
All right.
We're cooking.
I like it. Cooking with
All right.
gas.
Malachi Moore.
And he made it.
Welcome to Minnesota.
Oh.
Okay, so they want us to drop just like 3 picks here. Let's live dangerously. Let's do it.
You want to take it? Oh, but
Let's take it.
We got to give him next year's 7th though.
Oh shit. That's all right. Let's pull the trigger.
You want to take this?
Yeah. I'm feeling good.
Your fault if you lose your guy.
Yep.
Accept, right?
Yeah.
Going once? All right, here, accept. And we got him. All right.
Let's go. He's 144. Just scroll down a little bit. Right there.
All right. So draft Malachi Moore.
Yep.
It's your call.
Read the profile real quick so everybody can learn about him a little bit. I like Malachi Moore, 5'11", 196. Playmaking safety. He's like the Cam Bynum replacement. He's a deep middle of the field safety, great center fielder. It says they call him a ball hawk. 7 picks in 2024. Natural cover guy. He's got athleticism to play in the slot. I don't know why he keeps going this late. I really don't. I don't know what the knock on him is. I don't know if it's size because he's just 5'11", 200 pounds.
Let me look. Oh, I don't have the safeties scouted yet.
But I like this guy a lot. So, yep, let's pull the trigger on him.
All right, bring in Stool. Okay, no, Malachi Moore.
Welcome to Minnesota. Next pick, 158. I feel like we got to get a wide receiver here somewhere.
Nope.
Yeah, no.
Okay, offense. Wide receiver. 6'3", 214, 9.93. I got my wide receiver scouted, so here we go. He is not on CBS's list.
He says he's a good athlete, but not a good wide receiver is basically what I'm reading here.
Trent's playing out wide. He has a below average Division I production totals, having never topped 600 yards in the season. He's playing for Arkansas, though. They throw the ball. Look at that score, though.
Let's go back to. I know he's a project, and at this point in the draft, you're just throwing darts at people. Let's go to all. Let's just see who the best available prospects are. I mean, that Isaac guy is at the top of the list as an available prospect.
Here's a tackle. Both tackle and guard.
For Indiana. Okay. That's an option, just more interior depth there.
Okay. QB.
Nah, I'm good. Let's scroll down a little bit here. Oh, there's your Seth guy, Seth McLaughlin. There you go.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's a perfect fit right here.
Yeah, right here, boys. That's my guy.
So click on his profile here. I mean, this is a good center who I believe tore his Achilles. Yeah, torn Achilles in the final weeks of the season. So he's not going to be ready for training camp, but this is a guy who can sit and watch and learn behind Ryan Kelly and then be your starting center.
That's exactly what I want.
This is perfect.
I wanted to get Kelly, and I wanted to get a guy to learn under underneath them.
Yep.
This is me prognosticating. Or the purple Nostradamus
We
right
are
here. That's my
killing this draft right now.
Seth McLaughlin draft. Done. That's my pick, Gary.
The guys want us to check on corner here.
Solid pick. Gary has spoken. Nope. Let me what do we got going on here? We got 161 and 188. Yeah, we want unless we don't like anybody. Let's see here. We'll put that in our back pocket.
Who's the best available corner?
Defense.
Talk to me, comments, because I don't know much here. Do you guys like the
5'9",
Justin Wally guy from Minnesota?
5'8".
Oh, he's small.
5'10". 5'10". 6'2".
6'2", 186, 9.3 RAS. There you go.
Only 1 year starting experience FPS level.
Only missed 2 tackles this season.
This might be
he's my guy.
We can pick him later.
What's his name? Za. Let's go get Za.
Well, we can pick him later. We're picking 161 right now.
Yeah, he's 203. Okay, he'll be our last pick.
Yeah, we'll pick Za last.
Let's look at wide receiver. The Isaac guy's still there. Should we take a shot at the tall basketball player?
What do you guys think, guys? Should we get the athletic stone hands, Isaac Tesla, that can't run routes?
They want us to read up on Noel Williams, another one who had a good Senior Bowl. It's a corner, I believe. Go back to corner.
Defense corner.
Noel Williams, cornerback, Cal. So he's 6 foot 199. It's good size. Experienced college corner, a ton of snaps, a lot of playing time. Can you see how old he is? He's primarily an outside corner, but had taken snaps at box safety and in the slot, so he's played all over the place. He can get grabby, average zone corner, whose route recognition could stand to improve. This team plays a lot of zone. Solid man corner with good press technique. I like that. I like what I'm reading.
Let me look at him as age and stuff.
I do remember seeing some stuff about the Senior Bowl. Look at that. Our crowd is knowledgeable as hell.
So that's why we allow him to be our listeners.
Steven, who's Ricky White?
He's actually pretty strong, too. He's 19-inch reps on the bench for a corner. Broad jump 10, 33, 10 split. He's a 4.5, 40. It's not elite speed or anything. 6 foot. Where's his age at? Fuck, man.
That's all good. Let's go with this guy. I like him. What's he rated? He is the I can't see it right now. He's 193.
Yeah. No Williams.
I would just pop it here because 188's getting close.
Okay.
So no Williams. We got our corner depth.
No Williams. All right.
And our Mr. Irrelevant. There goes that Isaac basketball player, wide receiver. Last player. Man, this draft is sexy. Let's go back to all to see who the best players available are. Ooh, Jay Higgins, linebacker, Iowa. I think that guy's a stud. Let's click on him. Ooh, bad Raz. Not athletic.
Who was our guy again?
The other corner?
Where is he? Za Frazier?
Yeah.
What the hell school is he? University of
Texas San Antonio.
San Antonio, okay. It's pretty, I mean, he's skinny, but only missed 2 tackles this season as a career 5.6.
Click on go out of this and write so at 201 Hunter Wohler. Somebody was talking about him recently. Oh, he's athletic. 6'2", 213, 9.2 RAS for a safety. Big safety,
And
capable
we
of
could try to
making
get
plays.
Zaz a UDFA.
There you go. At every level, possesses above average size and length for safety position, but is an average blitzer who doesn't have natural ability. He can have difficulty with shedding blocks against bigger athletes. Stiff athlete who doesn't do well covering one-on-one. Struggled in coverage this season,
Stiff
allowing 3
athlete.
touchdown passes when targeted. So I forgot who I was listening to, but somebody had mentioned watch out for this guy with Brian Flores because he was the type of versatile safety that the Vikings might look for, and he could be another special teamer. So, I mean, this could be a guy. I don't know much, about. I don't know
Good
much about
size.
many dudes in this area here.
It's good size.
He says, look for kick returner. We lost ours. Well, maybe Rondell Moore could be our kick returner. I know the Vikings were looking at Cam Jackson.
Well, Rogers is a good kick
It
returner.
says Aeneas Peoples is still here. I have seen that name a lot. Let's look at
Rogers is a good kick returner.
Defensive tackle. Peoples. I don't see that guy. Scroll down maybe a little bit. Yeah, I don't see that guy. It must have been taken already. It was an old comment, I bet. He's off the board. Oh, no, he's right there. 173. 6 foot, 282. So he's kind of an undersized guy. Interior presence is known for his pass rush ability. Strong track record of production in each of the last 2 seasons. 3-year starter who has experience lining up over tackle, guard, and center. Yeah, shot in the dark here at another interior pass rusher. We do have Levi Drake Rodriguez as a guy that we're kind of developing as a interior pass rush specialist. And we also took Walter Nolan with our first overall pick. Let's go look at wide receiver real quick because we still haven't picked a wide receiver. But I like that guy as a sleeper. Good call out. Kyron Lacey's going to jail. We're not taking him. Height and weight to be determined.
Yeah, not taking him.
Yeah, I don't see any like names that are really jumping out at me, to be honest. Let's just take the defensive tackle, sleeper, pass rusher, and call it a night. I like the value there. 173.
All right.
Good draft, boys.
CBS had him ranked 10th on D lineman.
All right, let's see the final class here. Daniel brought up a good point about tight ends. Realistically, we should have attempted to get a tight end at some point.
We didn't even look at tight ends.
Yeah, the Vikings do need a tight end.
That'd be my one
thing that we could do better next time.
Oh, tight ends get dropped like flies in preseason too.
Gary likes our draft. All right, let's take a look here. They're still going.
Yeah, we're not Spielman where we got 7 picks in the 7th round.
That's okay. We just buy all the best undrafted free agents anyways. I've never understood that. I don't think there's like a cap on that. Just go buy the best remaining players. Here we go, gentlemen. We have Walter Nolan at number 32 overall. Our starting left guard, Tate Ratledge, at 64 overall. Damian Martinez coming in the running back room at 125. Danny Stutzman at 133. Malachi Moore, 141. Future starting center, Seth McLaughlin at 158. Noel Williams could be a guy that, takes a year to develop in the cornerback room. And then finishing it off with an upside interior pass rusher with Aeneas Peoples. I mean, shit, that's probably one of my favorite drafts that we've done so far. Turning 4 picks into that class is impressive.
Yeah. Obviously, I'm pretty happy with our top 2 picks. I'm feeling pretty. I'm liking Stutzman. kind of filled it, and we kind of filled up some depth there.
Yeah, good special teamer at the very least.
And you like
Love it.
Malachi Moore, and we kind of needed another depth piece there at safety. We came away with No Williams at corner.
You know what I love about the Malachi Moore pick is that he doesn't have to play this year because you have guys, unless there's an injury, but you have Harrison Smith and you have remind me, who's the guy we just extended? He's going to step up for Cam Bynum. Help me out, comments. What's his name? Anyways, we have the guy stepping in for Cam Bynum. But so I don't really want to see the Vikings take a safety in the first round. I would be happy with Malachi Starks because he's a stud. But in my opinion, you can address safety later in the draft. Theo Jackson, thank you. That's who I'm talking about. So,
and we still got Jay Ward.
Yeah, who knows what Jay Ward is?
And Bubba Bolden.
Well, any final comments? Chances are you get a tight end in the second round. Otherwise, you have to wait to develop the rest of the class. Yeah, it's probably what we're looking at, honestly. Any final thoughts here, Dave? I'm happy, man. I think we crushed it.
Yeah. Yeah, just looking at, I felt like we fit, our needs of the now and the potentially the starters of the future. Again, I hate going out of a draft that we don't really have a clear, what we think is probably a clear pathway to starter. Clear. I mean, like nobody, like these guys are going in knowing they're competing.
Mm-hmm.
Tate Ratledge probably could.
Yeah.
Every other, which is a good problem to have, is that we're so deep. We're so full. Our starting lineup is so full of top end talent. I'm even talking about safety because I'm really excited about Theo and the safeties we still have. So Malachi Moore coming in and learning from those guys is great. But McLaughlin coming in 3 years will be our starter kind of thing. 2 years, 3 years our starter. Deep at running back. Yeah, it's just a good problem to have that these guys won't start.
Yeah, I was going to ask you actually before we started, because there was a comment that KOC made. I don't have it off the top of my head, but it was something along the lines of Matthew Collar was joking with him that they should pop another wide receiver in the first round. And then KOC was like, yeah, but like, we'd like to draft somebody who has a chance to play, right? And because the wide receivers stuck behind Addison and Jefferson. And I think a little bit of that is true, where the Vikings would like a rookie to actually contribute right away. Like that'd be nice. And Walter Nolan will mix in.
Yeah.
Jonathan Allen and Hargrave and Nolan, like you're going to keep those guys fresh. They really want to do what the Eagles do and keep rotating guys. Tate, like you said, is probably your day one starting left guard.
Malachi Moore could get in a rotation,
Yeah, but to your point, like a lot of the starting spots are etched in right now. And the way that they were talking about Isaiah Rodgers in Florida is that they picked that guy up to start him.
Like they actually focused on him.
They like him. So it kind of sounds like Byron Murphy and Isaiah Rodgers could be your outside starting corners. And then the corner who got hurt, what's his name? I said it earlier. The corner that we picked from USC, who's older, he tore his ACL last year in training camp on day one of training camp. He may factor in as your quarterback 3. Yeah, thank you. Mekhi Blackman. He may factor in as your quarterback 3. So I
had high hopes for him.
It's like really left guard is the spot. Maybe wide receiver 3, potentially. Maybe tight end 2/3 are starter spots that you could see open, but there's not much open right now for a rookie to come in and really take the place.
Yeah. And then we still got guys that are developing that are there waiting too, like a Redman, or you know, it's hard to the linebacker safety could be early, with injury, could be early starting spots.
Mm-hmm.
Um, left, guard position. So he was not going to get to play unless someone goes down, most likely. But yeah, he could. Who knows? He might be able to win the job outright. But again, that with injuries potentially, a guard that he could start. Same way with Nolan could just get more playing time because we do got a couple of 30-year-olds playing D tackle. So yeah, I mean they got to be ready. Got to be ready.
Yeah, man. Well, good draft, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Thank you for all the suggestions and the information and the comments. That was awesome. I always love doing these mock drafts with you guys, and we'll probably get one more in before the draft in a few weeks. I will be out of town. We're heading to Disney next Saturday, or actually
really?
this Saturday. So you're going to be solo next week, but I'm sure you'll have some awesome show posted next week that people can tune into.
Okay.
But we'll send you a picture from Disney. Pray for me.
Coming to Florida. Wow.
Yeah, we're gonna go to
And
Cocoa
you're not going to
Beach.
swing down 4 hours to come see me.
Why don't you? We'll meet in the middle. Meet me.
Okay.
What's halfway? Fort Lauderdale.
No, I'm in Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, you are.
Pompano
What's
Beach, Fort Lauderdale.
what's between Cocoa Beach and Fort Lauderdale? We'll meet
I'll
halfway.
meet you at Port St. Lucie.
Deal.
All right.
Drinks on me. Skull.
Let's go.